In the great epic Mahabharata, as the clouds of war gathered between the Pandavas and Kauravas, many kings and warriors had to choose sides. Among them was Salya, the mighty ruler of Madradesa. His story reveals how even the noblest of intentions can be manipulated by cunning minds. Salya, hearing that the Pandavas were camped at Upaplavya and preparing for war, gathered his massive army to join his nephew's cause. His forces were so vast that when they halted to rest, the encampment stretched nearly 15 miles across the landscape. With warriors, chariots, and war elephants bearing the royal insignia of Madradesa, they marched toward what they believed would be an honorable alliance. News of Salya's approach reached Duryodhana, the cunning crown prince of the Kauravas. Recognizing the strategic value of such a powerful ally, Duryodhana devised a plan to win Salya to his side through lavish hospitality, a sacred tradition that would bind Salya by honor. Following Duryodhana's instructions, beautiful rest houses were constructed along Salya's route. His army was treated to extraordinary hospitality, sumptuous feasts, comfortable accommodations, and every luxury befitting royal guests. Salya, deeply impressed by this reception, naturally assumed it was arranged by his nephew Yudhishthira, the eldest Pandava. Overwhelmed by the generosity shown to him and his forces, Salya called for the attendants one day. I must reward you all who have treated me and my soldiers with such attentions, he declared. Please tell Kunti's son that I wish to express my gratitude and bring me his consent. It was then that Duryodhana, who had been moving unnoticed among the servants, revealed himself before Salya. It is who I arranged this welcome for you, he announced. Salya was astonished to discover that his royal hospitality came not from the Pandavas but from their sworn enemy. Touched by Duryodhana's chivalry and generosity, Salya exclaimed, How noble and kind of you! How can I repay you? Duryodhana seized this moment of obligation. You and your forces should fight on my side. This is the reward I ask for you. Salya was stunned by the request, yet bound by the ancient code of honor that demanded gratitude for hospitality received. Caught in Duryodhana's clever trap, Salya found himself unable to refuse. Be it so, he replied, committing his forces to the Kaurava side against his own nephews. This moment illustrates how the sacred virtue of hospitality could become a double-edged sword, forcing even good men into difficult choices. Despite his pledge to Duryodhana, Salya felt he must meet his nephew Yudhishthira. I have given you my word of honor, he told Duryodhana. But I must meet Yudhishthira and tell him what I have done. Upon reaching Upaplavya, Salya was warmly welcomed by the Pandavas, especially by Nakula and Sahadeva, who were overjoyed to see their maternal uncle. When the time came to discuss his support for their cause, Salya had to reveal his painful truth, that he had already pledged his allegiance to Duryodhana through a trick of hospitality. Yudhishthira, seeing at once the cleverness of Duryodhana's scheme, concealed his disappointment as best as he could. Understanding that Salya was honor-bound to keep his word, Yudhishthira made a different request. Great warrior, you are bound to your promise to Duryodhana, but when Karna proceeds to attack Arjuna in battle, if you happen to be his charioteer, will you save my brother? Though Yudhishthira knew he could not fairly ask this, he posed the question nonetheless. Torn between conflicting loyalties, Salya found a way to honor both. My lad, I have been tricked into giving Duryodhana my word, and I shall be ranged against you in battle, he replied. But when Karna proceeds to attack Arjuna, if I am his charioteer, know that he will go to battle disheartened, and Arjuna shall be saved. True to his word, when the great battle of Kurukshetra began, Salya fought on the Kaurava side. Later, he was appointed as charioteer to Karna, the great warrior who posed the greatest threat to Arjuna. In this role, Salya would subtly undermine Karna's confidence through discouraging words and ill-timed advice. Salya fulfilled both his promises, openly serving Duryodhana as pledged, while secretly protecting his nephew Arjuna through psychological warfare against Karna. After Karna's fall, Salya himself would become the final commander of the Kaurava forces, fighting with valor, but ultimately meeting his end on the battlefield. The story of Salya teaches us about the complexities of Dharma, how duty, honor, and family loyalties can sometimes conflict. It shows how even the wisest and most honorable can be maneuvered into difficult position through clever manipulation of sacred traditions. In the grand tapestry of the Mahabharata, Salya's tale reminds us that in times of moral conflict, one must find subtle ways to remain true to one's deepest values while honoring outward commitments.